Today we are building the frame to our winter wrapping. And this year we've decided we are going to build one with high ceilings. That way we can work outside the boat as well as inside the boat this winter.
Hey Cruiser, good to see you. Welcome back. I'm Captain Josh of the Stargazer.
I am Nikki, First Lady of Stargazer.
And today we have a heck of a project to do.
We are putting together a scaffolding, a framework that'll give us a lot of room when we wrap the boat. It'll give us a ton of space to work on the boat this winter. It'll be comfortable, it'll be usable, it'll be spacious. Nikki and I are building the frame. And in part 2 of this DIT build, Sammy will join us at the boatyard to put it on good old Stargazer. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below to keep up with our current DIT projects. All right, let's get started. It is all hands on deck for this project, Cruiser. Nikki, Sammy, and I are combining all of our skills to complete this. Today, Nikki and I are tackling the first part of this project, building and assembling. But we are confident in our abilities and in the blueprint we made to guide us.
Okay, Cruiser, pull in tight. This is the blueprint.
Basically our blueprint to our puzzle. So lots of pieces here. This is approximately 68. You can't see them all in the picture, but once we put it all together, you'll see how it turns out. This is actually one side. We're gonna make 2 of these.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the bottom, which is 16 feet long, by the highest point, which is gonna be 12 to 13 feet tall. We've labeled it so we can take it apart later and be able to put it together like a big Lego set or erector set.
From Lego Systems.
A, B, C, D, E, all the way up to I. When we first start building this, we are going to build it in sections. So we're going to build A through C right here. Then we're going to build G through I up here. And then we're going to build E and F. And then we're going to insert D all the way through. And that should be 13 feet tall.
Josh is going to cut all these pieces for me. I'm going to put them together with our connecting corner pieces, and there we'll have our frame.
It's lemon scented! This plan C can't possibly fail!
First, I'm cutting all the 5-foot pieces. That way, Nikki can start assembling the bottom of our frame. I'm taking a tape measure and a pencil so that I can mark on the pipe where the 5-foot line is. Then I'm going to cut them so that Nikki can grab them and assemble whenever she can. Cruiser, it's important to be mindful and safe around any power tools. You need to be aware of your surroundings before, during, and after using a power saw. They are extremely dangerous. Before cutting, I put on safety goggles or glasses to protect my eyes and my face from any debris. Ensure that you and your material are steady on the workbench. You won't want the pipe moving around while you're trying to cut it. This might go without saying, but I think it's important to be aware of your safety precautions to avoid any and all injuries.
You mean like this? Or like this? Or this? Or this?
Once those cuts have been made, I'm moving on to cutting the 6-foot pieces. We've got teamwork to thank for our efficiency. I cut, Nikki stacks. Once we got a pretty good stack, Nikki's then going to start assembling.
Now that we have our poles cut, we're ready to start connecting and putting this puzzle together. So we're going to start with the very bottom base right now. It's going to be 3 pieces, and we're going to start with a 5-foot pole, please, Josh.
Let's do this.
Then we'll get our center connector. Center pole is going to be a 6-footer. All right. Seems a bit longer than I thought it was going to be. 16 feet is pretty long. All right, I think we do the next row up and then we'll connect them in the center.
The next row is the same as the first. 2 5-footers and a 6-footer in between them. Once they're connected, then we take 2 rows and connect them together. That's not confusing at all, right? Well, it'll make sense. Just keep watching. To do that, we're gonna follow our handy dandy little blueprint here. Take 4 5-footers and connect them in a row. Simple enough, right? To fit them in, we're gonna stand the frame up instead of just keeping it on its side. That way we can really lodge those pipes in. We're gonna use a little help from gravity.
Where are we? 1666, England. Home of Sir Isaac Newton and one of history's most famous apples.
Gravity. It's not just a good idea, it's a law. Now it's just a matter of pushing them all in without the other side popping out, which can be a bit challenging. Once those pipes are snug, we're sticking to the plan and moving on to the top section. We need to grab a 6-footer and a 5-footer and set them down. Once we get to the roof of the scaffolding, we run into an issue with our angles supporting the top center post. We quickly decided to make the center 6-foot so that we can ensure that we have those cathedral ceilings we're looking for. Then I cut some 3-inch pipes to connect the angle of the roof.
You want to toss me that long 45?
If you are familiar with Euclidean geometry, better known to the cool kids as geometry.
Now, there are different types of triangles. You can classify them by their angles. So make sure you can classify triangles based on their angles.
I ain't doing it well. Nikki moves on to cutting the 3- and 5-foot pipe needed for the front of the scaffolding. And without skipping a beat, she puts on some glasses and gets to work.
Can I have your spectacles?
While I try to figure out the 45-degree angle. Cruiser, we had to come to a harsh realization that we cannot bend the laws of geometry to our will to do what we want. As much as we wish the blueprint could change the laws of physics and geometry, we have to work within them. Our blueprints are wrong. Geometry. Why did it have to be geometry? Why so unbendable? Euclid, you are so mean. It feels personal.
I think we glue this whole unit together.
But I think that's it. That's what we want.
Where's the tape measure? Let's measure this. Let's figure out what this abomination really is.
Once we figure out the new dimensions, it's just a matter of replicating the structure so it's exactly the same on both sides.
I say we build to the G through I's right now and finish them.
The issue that we were running into was that we had two different sized 45 connectors, long 45s and short 45s. Because of that, we couldn't get our angles to match up. In the end, we decided that it was best to have the long 45s on one side and the short 45s on the other so that the roof matched the angle of the pitch better. With that figured out, it's about matching and fitting the pieces together like Legos and gluing them solid. Thanks for joining us today, Cruiser. We love you. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below to keep up with our scaffolding project. As always, I'm Josh Wells, and remember, Sam Rayburn once said, any boater can wear down a boat, but it takes a good carpenter to build a scaffolding. Or something like that. See you soon, Cruiser. We love you.